Bred to Win, brought to you by Arrowfield, the home of four-time champion sire Snitzel.
At 10 million, take 500 more, at 10 million.
Hello, I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to a new week of Bred to Win. Coming up on this week's show, we look at Darley Australia's new sires, Aussie Group 1 winners Cylinder and Golden Mile at Northwood Park in Victoria, and European stars Native Trail and Triple Time at Kelvinside in New South Wales. Ridgeport Thoroughbreds, a blossoming new operation in Western Australia, Standing Command's group-winning son Rommel, and Snitzel's sales topper and stakes winner Ducimus, and Yulong's Sam Fairgray with a legend of the breeding industry in Arrowfield Studs industry influences. That's all coming up, but first, the latest Oz Horse news. The last full weekend of winter saw thousands of breeders, owners, bloodstock agents, trainers and general racing fans flock to the New South Wales Hunter Valley to inspect new and proven stallions at the wide variety of stud open days in the region. A feature at Arrowfield Stud was the appearance of four-time champion Australian sire, the breed shaper and son of Redout's choice, Snitzel, on his 22nd birthday. Next week on Bred to Win, we'll feature his barnmates Hitotsu with his first foals just arriving, and Admire Mars, who's off to a flying start to his career in Japan.
Frankel late, Via Sustina's charging.
The first Group 1 of the Australian spring season, the Wink Stakes, was a prelude to the great racing ahead and a spectacle in itself as the European-bred daughter of Fastnet Rock, Via Sustina, beat home an outstanding early season field of Group 1 contenders. The mare was bought by Yulong Stud for 2.7 million guineas through the Tattersalls December mare sale after winning Ireland's Group 1 Pretty Polly Stakes, and in the autumn she took out the prestigious Ranvet Stakes in Sydney. It was a trifecta for the Wallace stable and their three elite mares, including the place-getters Zugotcha and Fangirl, while Via Sustina has the WS Cox Plate as her main spring aim. Fastnet Rock is now retired from stud duties, but Via Sustina's Dam Nye is a half-sister to Kingsgate native, and it's another member of the growing Group 1 brigade, bred on the Fastnet Rock Galileo Cross.
50 out, Comanche's kicking.
The English graduate of the week was another success in the green and white check colours of Yulong as Komochi won the Group 3 Toy Show Quality. An elite filly and now a 4-year-old mare, a decent spell saw the daughter of Brave Smash return in even stronger condition. Originally a $21,000 English weanling, she was sold at this year's English Chairman's sale for $2.2 million to Yulong. Her sire, Brave Smash, a dual Group 1 winning sprinter, stands this season at the Mitchell family's Yarraman Park stud at a fee of $33,000. The Darley Silver Shadow Stakes was a battle between two Emirates Park-owned elite fillies, with Amina beating another Tassort filly, Manal, into third place. Amina's Grand Dam Boomtime Savings was fourth in a golden slipper, while her sire Tassort stands at Newgate Farm at a fee of $38,500.
Here's Mornington Glory starting to let...
In Melbourne, the listed Carline Stakes was the feature of the day, with Mornington Glory successful for his sire Shalar. He was sold at the Gorey Stud Dispersal for $360,000 and is from the Danehill mare Crown Glory, dam of hallowed crown, and needs further from the family of Zabil. Shalar stands at a fee of $19,800 this season at Victoria's Woodside Park Stud. And at Morfettville in Adelaide, the Leon McDonald Stakes was the feature, with Akeed Mafid's second to none successful. From the Keep the Faith mare Tidy Profit, the mare was a $45,000 English Premier yearling, sold by Rushton Park to Will Clarkin and Suman Hedge. Darley Australia has achieved incredible success on the racetrack with not only its locally grown stallions but also stars of the track from around the world. And this season they offer some amazing choice to mare owners with Australian racetrack stars in Cylinder and Golden Mile in Victoria and Native Trail and Triple Time in New South Wales. Andy, it's a wonderful, exciting time of the year, isn't it, with all the stallion parades here in the northeast region of Victoria. So exciting, the two new Darley stallions at this Godolphin property in Victoria, Cylinder and Golden Mile. We'll have a look as well at Native Trail and Triple Time heading to Kelvinside in New South Wales. But they're looking fantastic, all four of these new boys for Darley.
Quality colts, really exciting to have them. The two horses here in Victoria that you mentioned, straight out of the James Cummings yard, proper horses that trained on, certainly not one-hit wonders. The two that have come from the Northern Hemisphere, they're really classy horses from great sire lines and great physicals, so we're delighted to have all four joining the rosters.
And I think a horse like Cylinder, I mean, talk about a stallion pedigree for this horse. He's obviously a runner-up in a Golden Slipper, but a son of Exceed and Excel, who's been a Darley stalwart for so long, and of course was a Newmarket handicap winner at 3, just like his father.
Yeah, it's an amazing pedigree by a champion stallion out of the Street Cry mare. Street Cry is one of our champion stallions from the family of Lonhro, who's a champion stallion. So it's the 3 Darley stalwarts of the last 20 years in the stallion ranks combined in one. So he's as exciting a horse as I can remember putting to stud, certainly here in Victoria.
He won the Todman and the Silver Slipper before that Slipper second. Very few colts win both races and then perform with that aplomb in a Slipper.
Yeah, well, those two races are very sire-making races anyway. He obviously ran favourite in the Slipper, didn't quite get it done, but excitingly trained on. So a lot of horses with the profile that he had at 2 really then go to another level at 3. Came back, won the Vane, won the Run to the Rose, should have won the Golden Rose, was brave in the Everest, and then obviously his crowning moment, winning the Newmarket like his sire, defeating the likes of Imperatriz and Bella Nipotina. So it's some CV with a pedigree. He's got that Street Cry oomph to him, like he's got a top, he's got a forearm, he's got a gaskin. He's very much a 2-year-old type. He's very strong, very powerful. Yeah, I'm really excited about him. I think 40,000 is a great fee for a first season sire of his calibre. 5 group victories, 3.6 million in prize money. As I mentioned, he's not just that cheap speed, he's a horse who trained on at 3 and debatably could have trained on at 4. So he's very much a horse that retires sound and may well have gone on as a 4-year-old, but like all things, you need both parts of the business to be operating at the same time, being the stallion shed and the racing stable.
Golden Mile, 100 metres to go from Tijuana.
And Golden Mile, of course, new here to Darley, Victoria. He won $4.35 million. He won at 2, a Caulfield Guineas winner. And there's so much to be said for a stallion to win over that trip. It shows, a level of stamina and toughness, as well as obviously a turn of foot as well.
Yeah, and a very sound horse. It's what we're all trying to really breed. A horse that can be there at 2, dominant at 3, trains on to be a Group 2 winner at 4. He's running in the Epsom, running in the Golden Eagle, all those races, retires with over 4.3 million in prize money. Another one of our horses that could very easily have gone on for another season. So it's a great advertisement for our system that these horses are retiring sound, but it's also a great advertisement for Golden Mile that he is that style of horse that we're all trying to breed. So an exciting addition here, and I'm sure the breeders will like what they see when they see him.
He's such a great outcross for Danehill, isn't he? He's from a Lonhro mare. His dam Calaverite was a Gimcrack winner, but he also won the CO Marks the Ming Dynasty and had such a great following. I mean, he was a really popular horse too, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, you mentioned his pedigree. There's 2-year-old everywhere in his pedigree. Astern was a good 2-year-old. The mother of Golden Mile is a good 2-year-old, goes back to a Karrakatta winner. So it's a very sharp colonial Australian family, and he's a tough version miler who you trained on. So yeah, he won 4.3 million in prize money. And to put that in context, that's more than Cylinder, more than Shinzo, more than Osmosis, and more than Militarise. So he's a proper horse going to stud at a very affordable fee.
Native Trail, 4 in a row with William Buick wins.
And Native Trail, one of the 2 new imports for the Darley team, of course standing in New South Wales, as I said. He's just a beautiful, beautiful European type horse, isn't he? A two-time Group 1 winning 2-year-old. So speaking of these horses that train on, he won the Dewhurst Irish National Stakes and he returned at 3 to win the Irish 2000 Guineas. He has some presence, doesn't he?
He's a very good looking horse. Everybody that's seen him said, wow, what horse. He's a really exciting addition. People love him. He's got the race record to boot, and it's a serious race record. To win those unbeaten 2-year-old for a start, 4 from 4, 2 Group 1 level wins at 2, trains on at 3 to win a Guineas. So if we start to look at unbeaten Group 1 winning 2-year-olds that train on to win a Guineas at 3, we're starting to talk about Frankel, DeBarwi, Redout's Choice, real stallions, and that's what this bloke's got.
We've talked before over the years of the great record of the international stallions through Darley, Shamadal and Street Cry, and there are so many more you could list. But he's a son of Oasis Dream, which is a really interesting sideline in itself.
Yeah, well, it's Green Desert sideline, which is maybe where the looks come from. Obviously that sideline's worked very well here in Australia through I'm Invincible. So he's not dissimilar to I'm Invincible if you stand up next to him. He's a big, imposing, good-looking horse with a great colour, great presence. He's got great substance, which you can see why he was a 2-year-old. So a horse that we think can work here, and a horse that we think will be really popular here. 25,000 plus GST, he's the Pinatubo Too Darn Hot of our roster of this year, which we've always stood around that 40 to 50 mark. So I think there's a real opportunity with a horse like him, and I don't think the breeders will miss it. I think they'll see him and they'll go, wow, he's good, and then they'll look at his record properly and they'll see that actually at 25,000 this horse is very affordable for what he's achieved because he's in the mould of those horses you talked about.
In spiral, red, white and blue. Triple Time in the yellow.
And then speaking of Frankel, as you mentioned just before, Triple Time, a son of Frankel. We know he's gone to another level, Frankel. He was always going to be a superstar, you would have thought, given the unbeaten race record. But this horse won a Queen Anne Stakes, the same as his sire, and he has speed as well. He's just a fascinating horse, just a slightly different model to Native Trail, but as you'd expect, being by Frankel.
Well, he's very much in the mould of Frankel, which is exciting. He looks like Frankel, he walks like Frankel, moves like Frankel. He's Frankel's only Group 1 winning son standing in Australia, so I think that's a big tick for us and a great advertisement for him as a stallion to get away. His win in the Queen Anne was dominant, and it was a hot field. It was a really good field. I think there's the winner of 16 Group 1 races in it. So very good addition of the race. He was on speed like his sire. He had to do all the work, still won. He's a stakes winning 2-year-old, a Group 3 winning 3-year-old. So in terms of performance, he's a very good horse. In terms of sire line, well, it's outstanding. His pedigree is probably the talking point. His mother, Ream 3, or his dam, Ream 3, is one of the blue hens of all blue hens. She's had 6 stakes winners. There's 5 Royal Ascot winners in the first dam. 5. I don't think there's a hotter family in the world. So we're by the hottest stallion in the world, out of the hottest family in the world, a Queen Anne winner at Royal Ascot. I think he's worth looking at for sure.
And so diverse, the 4 of them, but so much quality there for mare owners in New South Wales and Victoria.
Yeah, it's certainly an embarrassment of riches. They're horses that we're so proud to stand, so proud to have access to, and I'm sure the breeders will like them all. Their problem or their difficulty is choosing if they have to. So really nice horses to kick off this season, and delighted to have them shared across New South Wales and Victoria.
All 4 of those stallions thoroughly deserving to be on the Darley roster in 2024. Coming up after the break on Bred to Win, the Cambridge Stud Performance of the Week and a growing Western Australian operation, Ridgeport Thoroughbreds, standing Rommel and Ducimus.
and Jolly Star opens up the shoulders.
The Cambridge Stud Performance of the Week was one of the highlights of the weekend's racing, as Jolly Star showed Winx-like acceleration and poise in taking out the Group 3 Show County quality. Cambridge Stud owners Brendan and Joe Lindsay were on hand to celebrate the Zoo Star mare's latest success. She was a $950,000 English Easter yearling sold by Ridgeport Thoroughbreds to Cambridge, being from Jolly Bay, a full sister to Royal Ascot hero Merchant Navy. A 1,000 guineas winner at 3, Jolly Star is another success story for the Great Faith. Henry Plumtree and the Lindsays have shown in Widden Stud's runner-up champion Australian sire Zoo Star, who stands this season at a fee of $275,000. Santo Guagliardo's Ridgeport Thoroughbreds is a relatively new stud operation about an hour south of Perth in Western Australia, with 2 great stallions siring winners week in, week out. An English sales topper and a Talon Dirt Stakes winner, Ducimus, stands alongside a son of commands in Rommel, and both are having a huge impact on racing in the West. Santo, this is a wonderful property, Ridgeport Thoroughbreds. You're putting so much investment into it. 2 stallions we'll talk about shortly, Rommel and Ducimus. But you've had so much success on the track too recently, with Bustler winning the Railway just back in November of last year. It's such an exciting time for you as an owner and a thoroughbred breeder.
It is. It's very exciting. Yeah, no, these last 2 years have been wonderful. Like, yeah, it's all the hard work and money spent is starting to pay dividends for sure. Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to the next few years and when the stallions start really performing, especially Ducimus, the new one, and Rommel's just ticking along, good bread and butter stallion at the moment. He's best to come, mind you. He's he just needs the better quality mares that can produce like the Snowdome, you know, the type of mares that we can put to him. So I've been out busy buying and putting together some good, better brood mares that we can put both stallions now that we've got Ducimus on board, and make this property sort of work and pay for itself. Being such a wonderful place. And
tell us about the property itself. So you're south of Perth, you're in a beautiful region with gorgeous, you know, it's so green at the moment, but you know, lovely sort of land and your fencing that you've put in, the great Duncan fencing, which is so safe for these horses. And tell us about the work you're doing here, the barns, everything, you know, has a state of quality about it. But you're also obviously getting great advice from people about what to do the right way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And we started off with a blank canvas as far as horse breeding property goes. We've tried to do it properly, and I think we're getting there. We're sort of a little way to go, but what we've done is we've made sure it's good quality, and we've got some good advice.
You've taken shares in, you know, Lightsaber and other stallions. There's a real sort of community feel, camaraderie, isn't there, amongst the West Australian breeders?
There is, yes, and we all work together and try and make our breeding work in WA. It's a hard state to get the breeding going, you know. It's very difficult, so we all work together and try to support each other and make sure that we give each other a chance to get it right.
And great staff, Marge and Vaughan, you've got a lot of people here that, you know, you can see are really good horse men and women.
Yeah. No, we've got great staff. Yeah, they're really passionate about the horses and the breeding and that, and I'm very lucky that I've got them people working with me, and hopefully we'll get it right.
Oh, where did your passion come from?
Always liked horses. Then when Rommel came out and was one of my better horses, and then became a stallion, then my passion for breeding really jumped. So I decided, well, this is it. I'm going to go all out in the breeding.
He's done an incredible job too. 60% winners to runners. I mean, Snowdome, a multiple group winner, of course, you sold. And he's running second on the 2-year-old sires table behind Playing God. And then your new stallion, Ducimus, is third. So there's so much to look forward to. With, you know, the best is yet to come with these young stallions.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm just so happy that it's all coming together, and and the property's looking great. Probably 2 years, if you come back then, you'll see a big, the finished product, which is going to be a great breeding ground here,
Marge, it's a wonderful place to be working, isn't it? Ridgeport Thoroughbreds. But you yourself, so you're from Estonia, you were show jumping when you were younger, but you've been in the thoroughbred industry for about 8 years or so. You have a passion for it now, don't you?
I've been working for Santo last 3 years. I've done thoroughbreds last 8 years. I started at Golfront and done a bit of yearling sales with Mike at Pima. Yeah, I've got really into breeding now. Santa very kindly lets me have my own mares here.
And you brought your husband across too from a totally different industry. He's now working here too.
Yeah, he's a surveyor and now full-time doing horses and loving it.
It's exciting to have these two young stallions, Rommel and Ducimus as well. Tell me a bit about what it's like working with the stallions, because it's very different to just working with mares, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're very lucky. Rommel and Ducimus, they're both very good to handle. They're both gentlemen. Everyone can go and rock them and walk them, and they don't have a bad bone in them. They're very straightforward, quite easy to work with. It's
quite incredible when you look at their record. I mean, Ducimus, 60% winners to runners. And of course, he's only just arrived here for this season. He's such a gorgeous looking son of Snitzel. We know he cost $700,000 as a yearling. And you can see that. I mean, you know what, when you look at him as he's parading for us here today, what do you see in him? I mean, he's just a beautiful looking stallion.
Oh, he's a beautiful type. He's very strong but more attitude, like great attitude. He's very kind and reasonable, and he really stamps his progeny. They're all looking a bit like him. Trainers seem to really like them.
He won the Talon Dirt at his second start. He was second in the top Sydney 2-year-old autumn feature, the Pago. 79 mares last year. He's from a Danehill Dancer mare, so he's got, obviously the Danehill is up close on both sides, but it means that, you know, for these outcross sort of mares, and there are a lot of them over here in Western Australia, he really suits them without, mares that don't have Danehill.
Obviously his record with the 2-year-old's been brilliant this year. Three from three can't be better. Steve from Rivercrest Park did a very good job with him the first 5 seasons, and we're looking to continue this year when he's standing his first season at Ridgeport. We have only heard good words about him, and apparently he knows his work. He just comes in, gets his job done, and he's pretty straightforward.
And Rommel, when you look at him, again, the 60% winners to runners, which is incredible. $89,000 in earnings per runner is the average. And he gets winners from 1,000 metres to 2,000 metres. So they do train on. But, he's done a great job with a horse like Snowdome, who's a multiple group winner.
Snowdome's been a great horse for Ridgeport. Santo actually bred him and then sold him at the races to Parnham Racing, and Santo's been racing him with other partners, and he's won 2 Group 3 races, being the best son of Rommel. It's great. Rommel is running second in a current 2-year-old size stable. He's had 9 runners, 2 winners out of 21 live foals, which is a pretty good achievement. His best and biggest crop is yet to come. His biggest crop are now yearlings, turning 2-year-olds. We're really looking forward to see them racing next year.
And these stallions have the best of facilities here. From your point of view working here, watching all this infrastructure go in, it must make it a really great place to work.
Oh, it's great. And we also try to make it very easy to work around and very safe for the horses. And Santo has put a lot of effort in to get all the best fencing and good safe stables, and the lifestyle's good in here. I think it's probably more relaxed than some of the big states. Me and my partner Ben, we really enjoy being in here, and it's been a journey with Santo the last 3 years, seeing this farm come together, and we're really looking forward to see what the future brings.
And thanks to Santo and Marge and the team for having us at Ridgeport Thoroughbreds. Coming up after the break, Yulong, Sam Fairgray in Arrowfield Studs Industry Influences.
Caroline, it'd have to be late Peter Keating. Peter employed me in my first role within the horse industry, and he basically taught me everything I knew from being a kid who left school and had a passion and got a job on a stud farm, and he showed me all the ropes.
And I think he would have influenced a lot of people in the industry. A lot of people would have learnt from Peter.
Definitely, there's a lot of people that have been through, his tutelage and education, and obviously he started off in New Zealand and he ended up in Queensland, and then Arrowfield started and Newgate. So, there's a lot of people now that are in the industry that have come under his guidance.
And you yourself, I mean, you have an enormous staff here at Yulong in Victoria. It must be something that, you're remembering some of what he taught you, because you're obviously a mentor now to so many young people here.
Absolutely, I'm very grateful for the education that I was, given, and I love being able to, pass on the knowledge that I've been able to gain from, from my career and onto the younger staff, and telling them all the different experiences, because there's always, something new every day happening, and if you've seen it in the past, you can pass on that knowledge, for them to hopefully pass on again, down the line.
You see so many of these young people now, and you can see they're going to be industry leaders in the future, can't you?
Definitely. When you see the people with the passion in our industry, and there's so many good young people, coming through that, are eager to learn, and being able to, pass on that information is a very important thing for not only for the industry, but it's something that I personally get a lot of satisfaction out of.
That's all for this week on Bred to Win. Join me again next week for the first week of spring as we bring you Arrowfield studs, Young Guns, Hitotsu and Admire Mars, plus Victoria's Blue Gum Farm with stunning new stallion Oxley Road, alongside Asfura's sire Flying Artie and Sebring Sajardin. That and much more next week. I'm Caroline Searcy. I look forward to seeing you then.
Bred to Win, brought to you by Arrowfield, the home of 4-time champion sire Snitzel.